Good evening, Razorback fans. Welcome to another episode of the Hog Talk Podcast, live from the Sterling Soap and Roastery Studios, part of the Believe in Buzz Radio Network, where you can hear us each week on 106.7 Buzz 2 in Central Arkansas. All live shows are presented to you by Arkansas Brewing Company in downtown Ozark. I'm Porter Hayes. Alongside me, as always, is Adam Hall. And tonight's show, we will talk about the Arkansas LSU game, talk about season ticket prices going up. And of course, we cannot have a show without talking about Kentucky week this week and the Charles Bediako saga that will continue on. Adam, first of all, I've been snowed in since Friday afternoon-ish. I'm going stir crazy. I don't know how you've been dealing with it, but I really want to take some time to really thoughts and prayers out to everybody in Tennessee, Mississippi, everybody dealing with the ice, because there's nothing that infuriates me more than people talking about the forecasters griping about not getting enough snow when there's thousands of people out there without power and tree lines snapping and power lines snapping everywhere.
I've been pretty bored for the last couple of days, which today I went to work. So that got me out of the house a little bit. And I'm not saying that I had anything to do. It was just the fact that I couldn't go do anything or whatever that really kind of sucked. No, you start to go kind of stir crazy a little bit. I feel like I've watched just about everything I want to watch, even though I know that there's so much out there. We live in this world that, we have all of this at our fingertips to watch. And I just find myself rewatching the same things. I mean, I just finished the show Justified for like the 8th time probably. And it's one of those, I know there's other stuff to watch, but I just don't take the time to invest in some of it. But no, if anything, I'm tired of the cold. Give me 60-degree weather every day of the week.
Well, it's funny, you always hear the 32-102 crowd until it gets to that point, and they really get to the point to where they switch their stance. Because I mean, I'd rather it be cold. I mean, it's freezing outside. It was -3 this morning at my house, but I would much rather it be -3 than 102. But some people, they just can't handle the cold. And you talk about being snowed in. It's like, as soon as I got the balls, or I was like, okay, I'm going to go somewhere. I got a 4-wheel drive, and I would go on to RDOT, and I'd always see a truck jackknifed, or somebody's already slipping off into the ditch at my exit in Mulberry, and I'm like, I'll wait till tomorrow. So I plan on going to work tomorrow, but there's only so much you can do. Like you said, watching shows. We went back and started binge watching other episodes of shows we watch now currently just to watch them. So yeah, it's matter of fact, it's funny. We watched the show. It was called Life Below Zero. These people in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny. We started that before this snowstorm hit, and I'm like, oh, we could go do that. Well, then by God, it happens, and you're like, okay, 3 days, I'm done.
Yeah,
I need to get out.
Transplanted brought up, I had forgotten about the raffle, even though I got the email today that the new one is open. So, Transplanted Texan, this is for you. It's currently at $905 for Kentucky week.
That might get you an upgrade on your season tickets.
Okay. Might.
Do we get into that first? You want to go ahead and get in that first, or what do you want to do? You want to talk about LSU?
Let's get LSU out of the way. We'll circle back to that and let this marinate a little bit.
It was funny how with the LSU game, it was almost like LSU was bored. Like, we're here, let's play it. Let's make the best out of it. I mean, 1-5 in conference play, 13-6 overall, and you come in and it's like they played the best game outside of the Kentucky game. I mean, they were physical. That's the thing. And look, you take their record and you can throw it away. And I think that's what's going on with the SEC this year. They just seemed like they were here outside of they were 3 of 15 from the 3-point line. If they would have shot better from the three, they could have won this game. But it just seemed like the crowd won. I'll let you touch on the crowd and then I'll go back. But I really, this was a 4-point game in the end, and it was a battle to the end. 13 lead changes, and Arkansas's biggest lead was 8. It just seemed like this game, if you look at records, this game should have not been close. But then again, this game showed you just how tough the SEC is.
Mm-hmm. And we kind of touched on last Thursday because we knew that the weather was going to be an issue, that these games are always weird when weather is involved.
Mhm.
There were a lot of ticket holders that I guess had turned in their tickets back to Coach Cal and the department, and they got those tickets out. But, like we talked about before, easy fix. Open the door, show your student ID, let them in. But whatever the case is, fans showed up. So
Yes.
that was a good sight to see and hear. And, at times, obviously, Arkansas, it was back and forth, get down 7, get down 10, back within 5, back within 4, tie. I mean, it was back and forth. It was really the first 30 minutes or so of that game. It was Arkansas struggled. They didn't look with it for whatever the case may be. Everybody kind of looked a little like LSU looked like the more rested team. And they're the ones that traveled here.
Yep.
So Arkansas found a way, though. Darius Acuff finishing with 31, I believe.
Yep, 31 points.
Mm-hmm. And so that was something that was great to see. He continues to get the SEC Freshman of the Week honors while they're still giving out Player of the Week. So I guess they don't want to put him up there, so they're just saying, hey, we'll give him his own. But it was a good game. It was a tough game. LSU is better than 13-7, 1-6 in the SEC. Like we've talked about before, Kentucky beat them on a miracle. They've gone toe-to-toe with some other teams outside of a couple of teams, maybe a South Carolina, possibly an OU. The teams can still compete. And me saying OU, I don't want anybody to think that I don't think tomorrow could be a trap game for Arkansas, because being at Norman, it very well could be a trap game for Arkansas.
Well, road, yeah, it's on the road.
Well,
go ahead. I was.
No, you're good. Yeah, so they've got to come with it tomorrow. I mean, play Oklahoma the way LSU played you. Go in there with intensity. Go in there with a chip on your shoulder. Like I get it that you're currently 15th. You've moved up 5 spots, but at the same time, don't settle. Shake off this narrative that you can't play on the road.
Yeah,
because at some point they're going to have to.
Yeah, you got to get that monkey off your back. And what we said about last week of if you're going to sweep a week, you have to. What you did this weekend or this last week, you're expected to. Home games, and you're playing LSU, who you're much better than. Should it have been as close as what it was? We don't know, but you won. You got to win. But, I mean, it's the fact that when you look at the rest of the league, I mean, Texas beat Georgia 87. They beat them by 20. That was, Georgia's ranked 21st in the country. Kentucky beat Ole Miss. I'm just going around right now. You're talking about OU. OU's 1-6 in the conference. Missouri beat them, but you can't let that get to you, because until you win a road game in the SEC, that's just where we're at right now. And you expect them to win, but yet until you do that, this is honestly not a must win, but you got to carry on the momentum, because what's coming in to Bud Walton Arena next Saturday, which we
100%.
will be in attendance to.
We will be. So, and, like Ty said here, we always play bad against Oklahoma every time, and that's a true statement. And that's another narrative, shake off that narrative. And I don't know what the deal is when it comes to Oklahoma. I think there's only been maybe 1 or 2 times in the recent years that Arkansas's looked decent. I mean, I feel like it's been 19-point, 20-point losses against them. I mean, we've been embarrassed by them. So yeah. I don't know what Cal's got to do. I think a lot of it's just shaking off this you're not good on the road vibe that we've had.
Because it shows right here the last matchup last year. Hold on, let's see if this is the right one. Yeah, 65-62 last January. So, I mean, and this was at home, Bud Walton Arena. So going into this, some of those teams just have your number. We've talked about this in other sports like LSU and Arkansas in football. LSU could be the better team, but Arkansas just has a way to be that pesky tick on their back, and OU's that team. So I wouldn't say a trap game. And I get it's hard because you can say it is, but yet this is where this team's got to rise above that. You can't have trap games. You've got to take care of business and not let what's coming here in Bud Walton Arena on Saturday. You can't overlook it. So I guess it's weird, not a trap game, but are you overlooking? Does that make it a trap game? That's the question.
And I could see that. I think that last year's game against Kentucky was obviously a bigger deal than this year's game is going to be. So I really don't think these guys are going to be looking ahead. And you got to think too, it's like you had the guys that played for Kentucky, which now who's left? DJ Wagner's it. So you look at these guys, he's already done what he needs to do. He went into Rupp, he beat Kentucky just like, John Calipari. At this point, after that, it's kind of like none of these other guys have the connection to Kentucky that last year's team had. So I don't think they're going to be looking ahead. But, like we talked about, Kentucky's, putting some games together before they get to Fayetteville. Mm-hmm. They don't necessarily look like the team that they were earlier in the season. So I think that that's going to bode well just for an overall good game. And I think we all know that Saturday is going to be loud in Bud Walton Arena. But you've got to get through Oklahoma first.
And that's the thing. Here in Kentucky's sitting at 14-6. I don't care what Kentucky's done. They have nothing to lose with this game because in everybody's eyes, Arkansas is expected to win this game. They're the better team. Everybody was talking smack about Kentucky at the beginning of the year. You're coming into this. You're on a win streak. So Kentucky's playing with house money, but you still got to go out there and take care of business against OU and then turn your attention to Kentucky. But for all the people, even the Razorback fans, when we mention Kentucky, this is the game we've both scheduled. We've had circled since this is the game we circle every year when this SEC schedule comes out. When are we playing Kentucky, and why aren't we playing home and home? That is the two questions we ask, and it's a shame that we don't get home and home with them. Yeah. I would love for that to happen. I mean, granted, we're blessed that we get it in Bud Walton this year. But, I mean, when you look at their schedule right now, they've won 1, 2, 3. They've won 5 in a row. So, again, if you don't think that they have been circling this game and they're putting this momentum together against Arkansas, and they got Vanderbilt before Arkansas. So, Arkansas has OU, Kentucky has Vanderbilt. Another thing to think about is with this weather. We're talking about the weather on Saturday. We're still dealing with it. What's the travel conditions going to be like for Arkansas getting to Oklahoma? How's that going to be? How the rest? You're talking about going into an environment where they already give you fits. How long is it going to take to get there? What's the players going to be like? I mean, what's their attitude going to be? How much have they got to practice in between and getting over there? So this is a very important game because you can't drop this game and then drop the Kentucky game. So
I'm sitting here looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oklahoma's lost 6 in a row.
6 in a row.
So they are looking for a win. So they've lost 6 in a row after winning 5 in a row. So, they're going to be itching for it. But at the same time, Oklahoma has Texas up this weekend. So it's a game, they got to look at who's right in front of them and not who's next on the schedule. Yeah. But, if you, go compare the stats, I mean, it's fairly even. Arkansas's averaging about 90 a game. OU's 84. Arkansas's giving up 77. OU's giving up 76. Field goal percentage, Arkansas is up on. OU out rebounds more than us. Let's see. More assists. Blocks are close to the same. We average a couple more steals. So, I mean, it's even on a lot of levels. It's what is Arkansas going to do? Like, are you going to let their guard Brown, dude, he's averaging 16 and a half a game.
Xavier Brown?
Yeah. This is a game that, don't let one of their guys go off for 30 points at home.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this thing, he's averaging 16.4 points a game. Nigel Pack is the one we're talking about, 3-point defense and all that. He's the one that really kind of look out for. He's shot 147 threes, made 62. So he's averaging 15.7. And then you have Tay Davis averaging 12.9, Darian Reed 11.8. So the key to this is you keep them in check. You keep those four guys in check. Maybe if Xavier Brown or Pat goes for 20, but yet you hold the other guys in check. Biggest thing is you can't let these guys like Mohamed Wade, Cool Atak, and Jaden Jones. They've got next three scorers averaging 6. You can't let either one of them have those big games where they're going 16, 18, 20 points. You can't let them have momentum. They've lost 6 in a row. You give them momentum where they feel like they can stick with you, or you go into halftime with a lead and then they come out and hit their first 3 shots in a row, and now you're digging yourself in a hole. You can't let that happen. It goes the game of runs, but you got to really nip this in the butt to prove that once again you're the team that we've been talking about all year as being this team. I love the performance that from LSU, the game against LSU. Malik Thomas, he's really starting to fit into that starter role now. I love the transition; it seems seamless. That's what you're worried about. Okay, we're gonna move Malik Thomas into the starting role, and then it takes a minute to adjust. Well, it doesn't seem like there's been any adjustment time at all. Fit right in. Billy Richmond, but we need Trevor Brazile, Carter Knox. We need all of those guys to really step up, because what you're getting prepared for is a war on Saturday. I know we're not spending much time on the OU game because we're going to talk, and we'll discuss more about the Kentucky game on Thursday, but this is what we've waited for. This is where you want to be. This is where we've expected you to be. We've been critical, but yet because we know the expectations of this team and where we want, and Cal said it in the last presser about, look, if you're not playing, I'm going to put you on the bench. If you're chasing the bag, I'm going to put you on the bench. We want you to play like you're the best player in the nation. And heaven forbid he goes off for 31, but yet there's 4 other freshmen going for 40. I mean, there's just so much talent in the country right now, but he's got to keep himself up in that upper echelon of talent. But he is proving every bit of what everybody thought Darius Acuff would be coming into this year.
Mm-hmm. And I liked his, Darius Acuff post game. He was interviewed and, talking about the points and stuff. And I mean, he basically said he's got to be a better defensive leader. So the fact that he sees that and is aware of it, okay, you've said it out loud now. So let's see you do something about it. Because, we saw Saturday, we've seen it in other games too. Because I think we can all agree that Arkansas is not a good defensive team.
Yeah.
But when they do, when they can turn defense into offense, when they can get out and run, they go in these spurts here. I've got a clip right here, actually. Malik Thomas to Malik Ewan. And by the way, hey, Coach Cal, if you're listening, or anybody else, start Malik Ewan over Nick Pringle, please. I know you have your rotation, but let's just give it a shot. But here's, turning defense into offense.
First real time the crowd has been active today here at Bud Walton. Intercepted by Thomas, the lead for Ewan. That was pretty. And LSU needs a timeout.
Yeah, there's just a different kind of energy when Ewan's out there. We got it right when we said, okay, let's start Thomas, but getting the whole Ewan back out there too. You get those 5 out there together. You got to look at. Okay, so let's go after this week. I mean, February, you got a full month. March 7th is your last SEC game. So before you know it, March Madness is here. SEC tournament's here. So you're at the point now, you got to stop fiddling with your rotations. You got to get what you need down now and start preparing for what's coming. You got to start comparing, because you have Kentucky, you got Auburn, Alabama. You still got to go to Florida. And then you end the season at Missouri. So there's still some big games coming up after the last month of your season that you have left, where you keep winning, target's going to get bigger, but your seed's going to go up. You do not want to get stuck in that 7 to 10 seed. You want to ensure you have a 5 or lower seed going into this tournament if you want to make a run. That's just how it is.
Well, I'm looking to see. I heard this on the radio the other day. So you get a high enough seed. I'm looking at where all the regionals are. So you've got Houston, San Jose, Chicago, Washington, D.C. in early round. That's the regionals.
Mm-hmm.
And early rounds will be in San Diego, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, and Buffalo. So if you could get St. Louis or Oklahoma City, that would be golden, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just make it as easy as possible for y'all.
Is there any regional in Dallas? Is there anything around that? Is it, you said Houston?
Houston's the only one down in Texas.
Okay.
So Houston and Oklahoma City you got, but the regionals are Houston, San Jose, Chicago, and DC.
Okay. Yeah. So if you get Oklahoma City, Houston, I mean, we know Arkansas fans travel to Texas, and they could be in Guadalajara, Mexico, and they're gonna travel. That it's just how Razorback fans travel down that way. But and Guadalajara was not what I was thinking, because that's out in San Diego. Sorry, I was thinking south. What is it? Brownsville area. What is the place out? El Paso.
El Paso.
What's south of El Paso? That's the town I was thinking.
Tijuana.
I don't know. Tijuana. There we go. But
is that correct?
No,
I feel like Tijuana is South California.
That is okay. So maybe it is Guadalajara. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? Then you have, the Final Four national championship will be once again in a football stadium. So get your seats up in the nosebleeds where you won't be able to see the court.
Yes,
you'll be able to watch it on the big screen.
I know that was like I was hoping to get tickets to the World Cup. I mean, I was going to go take my son to the World Cup but man, to even sniff a stadium at the World Cup, $700 a ticket for a first round game in either Dallas or Kansas City or Atlanta. $700 a ticket.
Oh, thank you. The
championship game in New Jersey, I think it's New Jersey or New York. It's like $16,000 is the cheapest ticket you could get. I'm like, man, ain't no way.
I don't like soccer that much.
I don't. That's what's crazy about me in sports. I'm not a big soccer fan, but the World Cup intrigues me. Just for the simple fact,
I pay attention to the World Cup more than other soccer, this is coming from somebody who, I played soccer growing up, but for some reason I just cannot I'm all about the Arkansas women's soccer team.
Yeah.
But professional soccer, the World Cup, I can kind of keep up with, but outside of that, it's kind of like hockey. Hockey is hard for me to keep up with unless I have a dog in the fight. So Arkansas's hockey team, I try to watch NHL, and I just want to see the fights.
That's how I am.
So
yeah. Speaking of that, did you watch the Paramount? Did you watch Patty?
I watched 3 or 4 rounds. Honestly, got a little bored with it.
He was getting destroyed, and I'm sorry, that dude's got a chin on him, but man, he was just totally outmatched. But I'll tell you, it was awesome because for us, everybody who has Paramount for years, you're going to pay $100, so it was really cool getting to, hey, we're the cool kids club now. We actually got to watch a UFC pay-per-view, and it was really good. I thought the fight overall was great, but yeah, he was just overmatched, and I thought he was done in the first round. I thought when he knocked him down, and I don't know, there's people who say he took it easy on him to make the fight go longer, but there was one time he almost got caught, and that's where in the sport of UFC, all it takes is one throw, and you're going from winning the fight to you're knocked out. So. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial break. After the break, we will talk about the Charles Bediako situation that is ongoing at Alabama, and then we'll discuss the season ticket prices for Razorback fans. Get your thoughts on those, and we'll be right back after the break. Searching for premium grooming products that will take your daily routine to the next level? Look no further than Sterling Soap Company. Our handmade soaps, aftershaves, and balms are made with only the finest ingredients that give you the ultimate grooming experience. With a variety of scents to choose from, there's something for everyone. Plus, our products are crafted in small batches to ensure the highest level of quality. So why wait? Visit www.sterlingsoap.com or visit our retail store at 16 West Walnut Street in Paris, Arkansas. Shop our collection and discover the difference for yourself. Upgrade your grooming routine with Sterling Soap Company. Are you looking for a place to grab a cold drink and some delicious food? Look no further than Arkansas Brewing Company. Located at 201 South 1st Street in beautiful downtown Ozark, our establishment offers a wide selection of craft beers and tasty eats. But what sets us apart is our welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. At Arkansas Brewing Company, you'll always feel like part of the family. So visit Destiny and Christopher Brockett and staff today and see for yourself what makes us the go-to spot for locals and visitors alike. Arkansas Brewing Company, come for the drinks and stay for the friends. Attention DIYers and home improvement enthusiasts. Are you searching for the right tools and the supplies to tackle your next project? Look no further than Mentor's Hardware Store. With locations in Ozark, Alma, and Clarksville, our vast selection of hardware and building materials is sure to have everything you need, whether you're fixing a leaky faucet or building a new deck. Plus, our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to offer expert advice and guidance. And with our competitive prices and convenient online ordering, Mentor's Hardware Store is your one-stop shop for all your DIY needs. Visit us today and let's build something amazing together. Are you looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than ATU Ozark Campus. As a 2-year satellite campus of Arkansas Tech University, we're dedicated to a quality workforce education, industry partnerships for in-demand jobs, and tailored paths for success. Our programs are led by industry professionals. Whether it's a certificate or you're aiming for a graduate degree, ATU Ozark has you covered. Visit our website at www.atu.edu/Ozark or contact us at 479-667-2117. Your future begins here. Welcome to Ozark Area Chamber of Commerce, where our mission is simple: encourage, promote, and aid an enduring environment of shared economic opportunity and civic development for the Ozark, Arkansas area. Whether you're a local business owner or a resident, we've got something for you. Shop our unique local businesses, explore the beauty of Ozark, and savor local flavors and find cozy accommodations. Join us in building a stronger community. And to learn more, contact us at 479-667-2525. Remember, together we thrive. And I want to welcome you back to the Hog Talk podcast. We'll just jump right into the season ticket price thing, because we kind of alluded to that at the start of the show. But you sent me a message about this, and the fact that I don't know how much juice they're wanting to squeeze out of the fan. I don't understand a team that goes 2-10. You're hiring a new coach. You're going to 9 games, and your first thought is, let's raise ticket prices. I'm not with it, man. We've talked about this, and I don't understand how many times you got to read the room. And let's just be full transparency here from a fan standpoint. The way everybody thought about Henry Yurachek a month and a half ago was crap. They were ready for him to go. You thought you made a crap hire. You kind of did some good things in the transfer portal. People are starting to come around to you, and you pull this. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, I don't understand how much more the fans have to give before they get a good football team. I don't understand it. And it really just irritates me, because it's like we can't catch a break. Fans can't catch a break. I mean, as we're saying this, people are coming in $600. They went up. 300%. Their ticket prices go up. Like, what do you want from the fan, Hunter Yurachek? What do you want? The fact that you're having trouble. You made promises that you were going to raise more money. You had this, you had that. You don't have a name on your stadium, and then you're going to go raise the prices up on fans once again. It's bull crap is what it is, and you're going to be stuck with half your fan base gone.
So I've read through, I've tried looking at this from different ways. All ways point to this is nonsense. This is garbage. There was a question asked up here by Ty, if the stadium had a sponsor, would prices still gone up? Yeah, I 100% believe they still, even if we did have a stadium sponsor. Do I think that has a little to do with it? I do. I feel like they're trying to recoup whatever money that they can get from not having that $5 million per year or whatever it costs to be the stadium sponsor. So I feel like they're going to, get it from whoever they can get it from, which is typically directly going to be the fan first. I've read through some comments, and the majority of most are frustrated with it because a lot of them are season ticket holders themselves, and they got the emails. Not all of them got it. I did read a comment from a guy in Hog HQ, Mason Newberry. He's a member there. He posted a comment, and I hadn't thought about it this way. But it was something like they've done it in other sports, or not necessarily that they're the people who have been donating longer, they're bringing them up to par with the new donors, if you will, because I guess he was trying to say that the people who have been donating, getting season tickets for X amount of years, have been paying less.
So kind of like he was being grandfathered into
more or less. And if that's the case, if you can prove that, that's one thing. But to blindside these people and not put anything out like, hey, we're going to have to raise this because of what we're charging everybody else, I feel like it would be a little bit more understandable. I think that this all just boils down to, you don't have a stadium sponsor. You're starting to see you're charging more in basketball, but my argument there is look at the product. Look at the product that's being put out there. The biggest thing is you're doing this after a team went 2-10. You're doing this as you still sit there with no stadium sponsor because you turned down a bank that's in a town of hillbillies. I don't get it. I still stand on, like you said, the read the room. I still stand on Hunter Yurchek being a clown and running a clown show. And that's not anything I'm going to back down on. So it's something, everything is a money grab. Obviously the raffle is failing. Let's see if we've sparked anything in the past 20, 30 minutes here. It's up to $920. So it's gone up $15 or whatever in the past 30 minutes.
Thank you to that person who's watching the show and bought tickets. That's awesome.
And that was my, one of my biggest things in arguments against the raffle was you're just putting this money into the foundation. Okay, so the raffle's failing. So now is this the next, this is plan D or plan E? Hey, the raffle failed. So now we're going to up the donation costs for season ticket holders who have been season ticket holders for 20 plus years and shown us their loyalty. This is how we're going to repay them, is we're going to charge them 300% more than they've been paying. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is a money grab. This is, what are you going to say this money is to go to? A new renovation that's not going to happen? Or are you going to admit defeat that your raffle is garbage? Are you going to admit defeat that you should have rolled with Bet Saracen and let this law get changed instead of combat it every step of the way with Oaklawn? Because that's what it boils down to. So it's
the thing, Adam, and that's the thing. You brought up a great point, and this is where Hunter Yurchek is a clown, like you said. If you let Bet Saracen take this freaking NIL thing over, what money is coming from the U of A? Let me say it louder. If you let freaking Carlton Safa take this over and you run a raffle that we know will work and you can fund your whole program, NIL, or every college in the state, let's choose Arkansas. They wanted to do it strictly for Arkansas. Now they're having to do it for every school in Arkansas. If you had this ran correctly and you're making $100,000 to $200,000 a week or whatever through Bet Saracen, where you're not having to pay a third-party company and you're getting all the funds you need, you could do whatever you want with these renovations. You'd have more money, but you're too stubborn to see it or admit that you were wrong. and you can't do your damn job because you still can't get a name for your stadium. I'm sorry. That's one of the biggest things when you come out of Greenland and you're going into Fayetteville, you see the stadium. There's no name on it. You're supposed to be a fundraiser. You screwed the pooch. You should have went with this. And just because of your ties with Oaklawn and blah, 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 you don't want Bet Saracen to do this, which would have cost the university no money at all. And you would raise triple the funds, and you're dying on the hill of a $950 raffle that magically will go up to $5,000 for the Kentucky game. It's stupid. And all it's doing is now costing the fans, these fans that you want to say is one Razorback, the fans that you want to show up. And it's going to be the demise of this program because guess what? Breaking news, you're going to run off one of the, read between the lines if you may. But if Hunter Yurachek does not get his crap in order, you are going to run off one of your coaches that is building a premier program on campus. You heard it here first. I'm not going to display what sport, but I know there is a program that is being built that if you do not give them NIL funds, you will lose that coach. But let's keep running with your little piddly raffle, your little $1 scratch off when you could go down and you could do mega millions with Bet Saracen.
I'm kind of, I'm going to watch this because I want to see. I don't necessarily want to see like what it gets up to when talking about the raffle. I just want to see what it jumps that last day.
I'll say 10 to 12. I'll say 10 to 12,000 and watch it jump on Thursday, Friday. 10 to 12,000. I'm calling it right now.
Because I remember like when I went to the Arkansas Texas A&M football game, it was kind of laughable, but then it jumped like during the game, $5,000 to $10,000 or something like that. So I'm just curious. Or hey, what kind of deals are y'all going to give us on Saturday, like you've been doing? Like whenever ticket sales aren't that much, hey, we're going to give you X amount for $100, $130. It's just I've never seen a more tone deaf person running. Well, I have, but a more tone deaf person running a sports team than him or sports department.
Well, that's why I think it's imperative that you should have went with this deal. And I'll say this for all these people that are talking about loyalty or I can't believe a university would go with a casino. Well, let's throw all the morality police out of the way. We're far beyond that. We'll go to Alabama here in a second. But it's just the fact that you can't sit there and say, I can't believe they would team up with a casino, somebody who promotes betting. I mean, when you're letting college athletes bet on pro sports, yes, not college athletics, but you had an out. You had somebody willing to give you a way to promote money for your football program, basketball program, baseball program. You could have used that $20 million for your subsidiary, your secondary sports that needs it. You could have used that for all your women's sports, your baseball program, your gymnastics, soccer. You could have built what Texas Tech is building. And guess what? You're going to see more programs like Texas Tech being built. They're going to be good at everything because they have the money. And you're going to be set, piddling your thumbs, banking on hoping you get conference championships. But you know what the big kicker is, Adam? The conference championships that you bank on are those secondary programs that you don't freaking fund. Let that sink in for a second. The programs that you don't fund are the ones getting you your SEC championships. But we're going to continue to play this game and raise these ticket prices of these people who has donated hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some people probably in the millions of their lifetime, but you want to keep backing them up. It's ignorant.
Hey, I wonder, could the players buy raffle tickets? I mean, or is that going to turn into a scandal? Are we going to be investigated?
Yeah. I mean, it's a raffle. It's a chance. I mean, so
I don't know. It's all just, it's tiring. And like, it's tiring to see his scarce tweets that he puts out. It's tired of I'm tired of hearing the tone deaf things that he has to say. I'm tired of all these decisions that are being made. I mean, ultimately, everything boils down to the bottom line, and that's all he cares about. So I think in their minds, and no, I'm not going. I'm going to keep this not political in what I'm about to say, but like the U.S. economy, and I know we don't do this a lot. But you go back to COVID. What do we do? All these companies raised prices because they knew we were going to pay it. So that's why we never saw prices go back down. And here, Hunter Yurchek knows that somebody's going to come in and pay it. So let's just keep raising the prices.
Yep.
But at the same time, he is showing loyalty, but he's banking on you showing this program, this team, this university loyalty. So like we talked about with coaches in the past, that until there are not butts in the seats, nothing's going to happen. Yeah. And so, it's one of those things that it's tough because you are bringing in a new coach, a new team, a new vibe, new energy, hopefully just new everything. And it's kind of like, hey, like your boss is not really giving you a whole lot to work with, in the sense of it's giving the whole football program a bad look when it's one guy that's causing it, which is the athletic director. Because, by all means, this is not the team. This is not Ryan Silverfield. This has nothing to do with anybody but Hunter Yurchek and the powers be.
He's pretty much banking on being, you think about it. You could throw this out there. He's not having any faith in you because he's raising the prices up because he don't think you're going to fill out the stadium. He's raising the ticket prices to make up for the empty seats that he thinks going to be there. If that's a shady comment, that's a shady comment, but he's got to make his money somewhere. And, you've got this revenue coming up, but you knew about this 4 years ago. You're the first one that had a collective. You should have been putting money back for this. You should have been going out fundraising. You've been the athletic director the whole time this has been going on. This falls solely on Hunter Yurchek. And I thought we were heading in a good direction. I thought, all right, we're going to give this guy a chance. The smoke's cleared. It seems like, Silverfield's done really good with the portal. Things are looking up, and then guess what? Bam, let me make this about me. Let's raise the ticket prices up.
And another thing too, it's kind of like, because we never got a true answer when it came to the FOIA request for what the contract and what really happened with Blueprint Sports. Yeah. But hey, like whatever kickback that you did get, maybe you should have put that money to pay for somebody to come fundraise for the University of Arkansas. Hey, here's pay an individual that will go door to door and fundraise and make the phone calls that you don't want to make instead of pocketing the money. Because, I mean, you can't tell me otherwise since y'all, since it was returned, that there was nothing to show us.
Well, and on top of that, didn't they sign with a new company?
Yeah, there's a new company.
What have we heard from them?
Nothing.
Exactly. So what about Remy Cofield? What have we heard from him since?
We've heard more, I think, that's came out about the new football GM. Like we've heard more from his side of things than we have Remy Cofield.
Yeah. So therefore, you've got two new people, but yet you're hearing really nothing out of them. It's like you want to talk about wasted money. How much money are we wasting on this? Why are we paying these people? I mean, I'm sure Remy's getting paid a good chunk of change to run this little pony show that he's doing. But what is he doing? I mean, you're talking about FOIA. How about we FOIA where's his ROI? Where's his sales sheet? What feeders have he put in it? What prospects does he have? Where's his pipeline? I was in sales. Where's his pipeline? What's he working on? I think the people, the state, the fans should know. I think he should come in and do a quarterly sales meeting. What's he got going on? What's Hunter Yurchek? Because there's nothing. Until you start putting these feet to the fire. It's not funny how you're talking about people have to deal with it. I was listening to Ruskin and Zach's show, and they were talking about that of until things really start happening, we have to deal with it or just stop showing up. So, I mean, that's where we're at.
Mhm. And like Hunter put more effort towards the college football playoff and embarrassed himself weekly on television than we've seen him put effort into his main job, which is Arkansas athletics. It's valid. That's very valid.
Do we have a breaking news kind of button or alarm that we can play real quick?
Is there breaking news?
Yes.
No. Well, this will have to work.
Anything. All right, this just in. Whole Hog Sports, the Arkansas Athletic Department. This goes off of the topic we're talking about. The Arkansas Athletic Department reported a surplus of $6.89 million in 2025, and the Razorbacks reported a net revenue of $11.78 million on their NCAA membership financial reporting survey. Freedom of for their FOIA that was requested. So Arkansas Athletics Department transferred $4.86 million to campus in 2025. And after the transfer, the $6.89 million surplus was an increase of 10 times from 2024 to 2025. Arkansas reported a net profit. There we go. There it is. Arkansas reported a net profit of $597,000 in 24.
Convenient.
Interesting. So you had a $597,000 surplus in 24. You let Kevin Trainer go. You get rid of all this stuff, and now all of a sudden we don't have money. $6.89 million surplus. Interesting.
Give him a pat on the back. What kind of bonus does he get every year? I wonder.
Probably 2.1 million.
It's just,
I don't know. I was just taking, whatever he wants to transfer, apparently, I guess.
Yeah. And as we end the show after our little rant, but it's much needed sometimes because it's just ridiculous. And a lot of people don't have anybody to, I guess, I'm not going to say speak for them, but there's not enough people talking about this. And yes, we've seen it from Prescott and Zach. We've seen it from some of the others, Best of Arkansas Sports, but a lot of people have to stay hush hush on this. Well, guess what? We don't have to stay hush hush on it. So it's one of those things. But if you have not made it over to the NBA G League Up Next voting, make sure to go vote for Alabama's own Charles Bediako, who is still on the selection ballot for that.
I think that would be hilarious. I think we should. You talk about Razorback fans uniting for a cause. Please, if we could ever ask the fans to do anything in the history of Hog Talk Podcast, please go vote for Charles Bediako to make the G League Next Up game.
And while you're in there,
hilarious.
Do make sure you get, because you have to go by position group first. So when you first get to it, I know there's some people that couldn't find them. You're going to go, I think, with the front court first, or no, back court
and 3 front court.
So just go ahead and get it out of the way. Select John L. Davis and select.
I think Stanley Amude is one of them.
Oh yeah, he is on there. I was actually going to go with Ricky Council.
Yes,
was on here. I think I may have passed him. Somebody's probably yelling at me. He was right there.
Nick Smith Jr. is on there too.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't go down very far because I was just looking for Bediako. Okay, go get your hoop hogs.
There's Adu, Jonas Adu.
And then just scroll on down and make sure y'all put in Charles Bediako.
Please.
We would love for him to get voted for this game because he has also got another 10 days that they have granted him. I guess the loss against Tennessee wasn't enough. I mean, he had 13 points. Cool. But I guess the loss to Tennessee wasn't enough. So they're going to allow him 10 more days while they decide on this.
Well, the weather, that judge couldn't get in to hear that case, how fitting, but
is it the same judge that is the Alabama booster?
That was yes. And the Alabama side of it, the hills they die on, we can go back to the Brandon Miller stuff, because, Nate Oates is talking about, well, how can I sit there and tell this guy he can't play? Well, it's funny, when it was another team, you had no problems talking about taking away from the integrity of high school recruiting. But my God, when it's in your locker room, I don't know. He brought a gun to the scene of a crime. I don't know. It's funny how you throw your hands up when it's on your side of the court, and we're talking about integrity and blah blah blah. Give me a break. And it's funny how I seen one. The funniest part was the fact that this Alabama Twitter account said the king is back in Tuscaloosa, or what. The dude averaged 6.4 points a game for you. You're acting like LeBron James come back to Alabama. Like, I understand you're trolling, but give me a break. And the dude, yeah, he scored 13 points, but in a loss.
That, it's just funny at this point. And I know that the NCAA can't punish Alabama for this if it's ruled that, this guy's not going to be able to continue to play. But obviously we don't foresee that happening, or that already would have happened. Here's the thing too, is I don't get is the SEC could easily step in and have him benched. Why isn't Greg Sankey stepping up? Because there's some things that the NCAA does defer to the conference. And this is one of those cases that Greg Sankey could step in also. So it's a shame on both parts. But here we are once again where, kind of in a sense, you're screwing things in the future for high school athletes, I feel like, because you're making it even more difficult for them to do, to want to come here, or to want to come to the NCAA. I mean, you're outside of this freshman class that's in the NCAA right now, because I feel like that this is a rare freshman class in the NCAA that we're seeing right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're making things more difficult if you're not a caliber of player of a Darius Acuff, a Malik Thomas, a Cam Boozer, an AJ DeVansta, a Darren Peterson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're basically kind of getting slapped in the face by the likes of Nate Oates by going and getting these G League players.
Well, it's going to open up a whole can of worms. I'm telling you, you let this happen, then everybody else is going to start doing it. But it's funny. I put out there this morning, it's like, first you have Alabama bringing in a G League player to their team. Ole Miss straight up tampering with a kid that was at Clemson to come to Ole Miss. You offered him $2 million to come to Ole Miss, and you told Clemson to offer $1 million more to let all this go away. And now LSU, their big guy, I don't know if you've seen this about Jordan Seaton. Even though the deadline to enroll in classes passed last week, somehow LSU transfer Jordan Seaton is expected to be on campus and enrolled in classes that would allow him to participate in spring practices. Like, what the hell is going on?
It got lost in the mail.
I'm not understanding. Did the Big Ten spook the SEC this bad where it's spreading to all sports? I mean, did the Big Ten winning 3 championships in a row really spook the SEC this bad to where you're making it blatantly obvious you're cheating in all sports? I don't understand what's going on. You've got Alabama, Ole Miss, and LSU doing these things, and it's like all you're doing is opening up more opportunities for this to turn into bad product. Because it's going to get to the point where nobody's going to care.
Well, before NIL, it was, everybody kind of knew, like, hey, players are getting paid under the table. Yeah, it was happening everywhere, but, the likes of Alabama and other schools were the ones that were looked at more and blamed for it, or accused of it, I guess I should say. So now that the playing field was evened with NIL, now the SEC is basically saying, hold my beer, because I'm going to do some more shady stuff to try to get by.
Exactly.
I mean, that's where we're at.
I seen that, and that's the thing. You got to jab at LSU because, they're going 16-0 next year. They're going to be, they can't lose a game next year. They've got to win the national championship. But I mean, the fact that they're moving, this is academic. they're a scholar athlete and you're moving goalposts to make sure he gets in class so he can participate in spring practice. It's kind of funny, but yet they'll throw shade at any other school if they're doing something. So everybody, it's corrupt. Just get used to the new way of it.
I just know that, hey, in about 5 to 10 years, we're going to just have a revolving door of new 30 for 30s and Netflix documentaries.
We will. Arkansas, we need to come up with a new a mascot for the Razorbacks. I feel like this is going to G League form. So are we going to bring back the Arkansas Twisters? Are we going to, hey, let's call them the Diamonds. Let's have Arkansas buy the name from their arena team, be the Arkansas Diamonds, byproduct of the Dallas Cowboys or whoever, So that's where we're headed.
Hey, a name that I know that is available. It's kind of partial to one city, but I think the Wise Guys is available.
Yeah.
So shout out to Chris Goodman, former
There
GM of the.
Who's going to be on the package? What company is going to be on the jerseys?
Like legitimately, what do I think?
Yeah, legitimately.
I don't feel like it's going to be Tyson or Walmart. Maybe Tyson, but Tyson or Walmart because they're already on the field. So do you go in with the bank?
Bank OZK?
Should be one of the Waltons may throw a fit. One of the Waltons may throw a fit.
That's true because of our vest. Yeah, I forgot about that. Politics. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Make it. No, I would say make it a local company. Make it funny. Hey, how about the whatever the name of the state park where they mine the diamonds at?
Yes,
in Murfreesboro.
Crater,
whatever it's called. Sure, throw them one.
Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Or the Razor, just put the Razorback raffle logo on it.
Yeah.
We'll never forget it then.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Chuck and Buck. Yeah.
It's up to $950, by the way. So you're welcome, Hunter. You're a check.
There we go. We gave our $20. To hell with you. So, all right. Well, that will do it for this episode of the Hog Talk podcast. Again, we will come back to you on Thursday at 6:05. Thank you for everybody tuning in tonight, all of our sponsors, all of our fans, and we will.